Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am with another Winnie the Pooh movie review. And now here I am with a review for Pooh's Heffalump movie. So, yeah, this one came out in 2005, and by this point I was 11 years old. So, yeah, obviously, I was, kind of really old to go see this movie in the theater. So, yeah, I obviously, didn't see this movie in the theater. And I didn't even, just like what I was talking about in my last review for Piglet's Big Movie, I really had, yeah, I had never seen this film before, or I just watched it just now in order to make this review. So yeah, I had never actually seen this movie before. So yeah, just like with a Piglet's Big Movie, I really had really didn't know really what to expect with this film. And plus even back then, even when this film was originally released, like well, I really didn't know what this film really was gonna be about. I had the feeling the concept of this, just because I had seen the trailers for this film, and just the concept of this film, this just kind of seemed like it was more for a it just seemed this one was really more geared to the little kids, and it's not really to my age range anymore. So yeah, it just really didn't seem like it was really it was really more geared to the little kids. So I really really wasn't sure what to expect. And this movie this really just did kind of seem like the concept that some of the direct to video Winnie the Pooh films had. I know that there were some direct to video Winnie the Pooh films that did kind of have more stories that were geared to little kids. Then yeah, from what this film looked like, it really did seem like this was going to be another approach like that. So yeah, I really had never actually seen this film before, and yeah, after finally watching this film, um, I gotta say, I think it is overall a good film. I mean, it is a relatively really short film. I mean, the film is only about an hour long, and yeah, it was actually released theatrically. So yeah, it's kind of surprising that a film this short was actually given a theatrical release. I mean, yeah, but it's kind of like The Land Before Time. I mean, you remember last year when I reviewed The Land Before Time, the original Land Before Time? That film was only about an hour, and yeah, it was a really good film. And yeah, this is a pretty good film too. I don't think it is as good as some other Winnie the Pooh films. Of course, the ones that I have already looked at before. Of course, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Well, I mean, yeah, that's been my favorite Winnie the Pooh film ever. And yeah, even the ones that I've already reviewed prior, with Pooh's Great Adventure and the Tigger movie and stuff, and even Piglet's Big Movie. I felt that those films are better Winnie the Pooh films than this one. But I do think that this is still overall it's a good film, despite the fact that it is so short. I mean, maybe if this film was a little longer, considering the story that this film has, as it probably if it was longer, it probably could have been just as good, maybe even better than some of the other ones. But I just think that because it's so short, and just with this type of story, I really feel this story really should have been given some more time in this film. So yeah, I guess that's just due to it being a relatively short film, that really is something that really doesn't make it as good as some other Winnie the Pooh films. And yeah, and this type of story, this is something that you don't really expect to see in a Winnie the Pooh film, and even any thing Winnie the Pooh related to really have this kind of story. I mean, yeah, this is basically just the misunderstood creature story where and of course, if you know Winnie the Pooh, you know that they see heffalumps and woozles as really dangerous creatures. And so yeah, once they find out that there's a heffalump in the 100 Acre Wood, a Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit, and Piglet are all trying to find a like have an expedition to capture the heffalump and stuff. And yeah, and it turns out the heffalump that they're trying to capture is really a really young friendly heffalump that Roo ends up befriending. So yeah, and yeah, this is another film the Tigger movie and Piglet's Big Movie, where it's not really focused on Pooh. I mean, despite the fact that he isn't in the title of the movie, this film really seemed to be the most focused on Roo. So yeah, I think it's really interesting that with like these three Winnie the Pooh films, with the Tigger movie, Piglet's Big movie, and this Pooh's Heffalump movie, they're like not they're like making Winnie the Pooh films that are really like focused more on like other Winnie the Pooh characters and not Pooh. I mean, I was really thinking that maybe they could have done this for like I think like a real possible one they could have done was like a Winnie the Pooh film where like Eeyore would be the main focus. I mean, I really feel like Eeyore is really a character that they actually could have done a movie where the focus would be on. Just see like a like movie from Eeyore's point of view, pretty much. I mean, I think Eeyore would probably be the most likely one. I mean, and with Rabbit, I really don't think that there would really be anything in like really with him that would really that they could really do as a movie just to put the main focus on him with. And Owl, I really don't think that there's really any enough any really like great things that they could really do to have a movie be focused on Owl. So yeah, I thought Eeyore could have been a good one, and probably like the most likely one that they would have done like another one of these films where the focus would be on a different character other than Pooh. So yeah, and yeah, I do kind of like that this film really is like more focused on Roo because Roo really isn't like a he's really like not really like a as big of a character historically. Winnie the Pooh is like a Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit, and Piglet and Eeyore are. So yeah, I do like that they really did like make this film and have it be focused on a character that's really not really like as featured as much in well, Winnie the Pooh, who as like a lot of the bigger ones are. So I do like that they did that. And throughout this film, like it is showing how Roo does actually befriend like the young friendly Heffalump, Lumpy as he's called. And so, yeah, and I really do like the friendship and connection that Roo and Lumpy have. I mean, it's kind of like seeing as they have like they look at the other ones as threats. How Roo of course is along with like Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Rabbit, and Eeyore. All can like just see the Heffalumps as really dangerous, and at the same time, like Lumpy as well as his mother just feel that the other residents in the 100 Acre Wood are like scary creatures as well. So yeah, it's kind of like two opposing points of views where each side sees like the other as really dangerous and stuff. So yeah, I kind of like that about this, despite the fact that we have seen like this type of story done before. Of course, like it was done in Pocahontas, and yeah, they've done and like West Side Story, and like it's basically kind of like the Romeo and Juliet thing, where like it's like enemies and stuff, but there's like two that really do befriend each other. So yeah, it's basically like kind of like that approach with it. And so yeah, and this film it basically still does have pretty much like the same recurring cast as as providing the voices. Yeah, it's still Jim Cummings voicing Pooh and Tigger. Still have Ken Sansom voicing Rabbit, Peter Cullen voicing Eeyore, and also as well John Fiedler voicing Piglet. And this would be the final time John Fiedler would voice Piglet because yeah, shortly after this film, John Fiedler had died, and it's really kind of like strange that Paul Winchell, who voiced Tigger, he died. The original voice of Tigger, yeah, he ended up dying. Like shortly after this film, and yeah, John Fiedler ended up dying like the just the very next day after Paul Winchell had died. So yeah, it's really like odd that two original Winnie the Pooh voice actors had died like in back to back days. So that's kind of strange. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, still this would be the final time John Fiedler would voice Piglet. And yeah, this would be like the last Winnie the Pooh film that would really feature like this recurring cast from basically like the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh show. So that'd be that. And yeah, Christopher Robin, he's really not in this film. I mean, the only time that Christopher Robin is actually in this film is like in the end credits where there's like a montage of clips showing Bumpy you being with a Pooh and the others, and it does show like a couple of clips of Christopher Robin. So yeah, that's really like the only appearance Christopher Robin has in this movie. He's really even like not in this film at all, pretty much. So yeah, it's interesting that they do a Winnie the Pooh film without Christopher Robin. And yeah, it is a good film. I mean, the story is done up pretty good. I mean, like I said, I really feel like this story should have been like given more time in a film, and so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really feel that this movie really is not as good as like the other Winnie the Pooh films I reviewed. But I mean, for like the time that this film lasts, it is still a good film. I just really wish that it would have lasted longer and like just given more time for this story to really like be developed, and like because I really just feel like like when like the acceptance happens, it just kind of is like pretty abrupt, really. So yeah, I just felt that that should like give more time to really like advance and just I could like develop more so it wouldn't have really just like happened just like that and be so abrupt. But yeah, it still is a good film overall. I would give this film still a 3 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, it's just like the other last few Winnie the Pooh films I reviewed. I mean, and yeah, it's not a great film and stuff, but yeah, it is like a good kids film. So yeah, it's a good film overall. All right, so yeah, let me just talk about the story for this film. I mean, yeah, since it's like this film was just like about an hour, I'm probably gonna be able to just like go right through this like pretty quickly since it is an overall simple story. So as the film opens up, there's like an opening narration from Pooh, as well as like it also ends with a narration from Pooh as well. So yeah, there's like not an actual narrator in this film. Really, it's just like Pooh giving like an opening and a closing narration. So yeah. And as the film opens up, it's showing that in the 100 Acre Wood, like Pooh and his friends are just like hearing strange noises throughout the 100 Acre Wood. And then they like find that like some of their stuff has been tampered with. Like Pooh's honey pot is empty, and Piglet could like hear the noises, and a portrait of Tigger's like ended up getting like messed up, and so then they ended up finding like a set of large circular footprints in the 100 Acre Wood, and then yeah, and that's when like the friends like felt that there was a Heffalump in the woods. So then yeah, they all went to Rabbit about the Heffalump problem, and then Rabbit then decided to lead like an expedition to catch the Heffalump, and Roo also like wanted to join in the expedition, but yeah, it's basically kind of like a similar thing of like what like Piglet was feeling before in a Piglet's Big Movie, how just they were telling Rue that he really was just like too small to really join them, and yeah, Rue just felt like really sad about it and stuff, and but yeah, Rue was just determined to really like help them capture the Heffalump, and so then the next morning, Rue then just ended up like slipping out on his own to search for the Heffalump. Um, and then yeah, it also showed how Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit, and Tigger, along with Eeyore, all setting out to try to search and capture the Heffalump as well. And then eventually, Roo then ends up finding the Heffalump, who was just like a really, like a young Heffalump, who was really like playful, and his name was Heffridge Trumpler Brompet Heffalump the Fourth, or Lumpy for short, or that's what everyone called him, just Lumpy. And then, yeah, it showed that Rue was like kind of afraid of Lumpy at first, but then, yeah, yeah, they then like quickly ended up like befriending each other, and yeah, they then just like were playing with each other. Yeah, that's basically like really like what like most of this film was. It was just really like about the connection with Rue and Lumpy, and the two of them just like really playing together. And eventually, Lumpy heard the call of his mother to come home, and but then like Rue wanted Lumpy to like meet all of his other friends first, and then yeah, they were then like heading towards 100 Acre Wood. But yeah, Lumpy like was like hesitant on actually going into the 100 Acre Wood because he felt that the creatures, as he referred to them, like a Pooh, Rabbit, Piglet, and Tigger, and all of them, he just felt that they were scary. But Rue reassured him that they're real friendly, and they would never hurt him or scare him or anything. And so then, yeah, they eventually end up arriving in the 100 Acre Wood, but it was deserted. Like, they went to Pooh's home and he wasn't there. And they went to Rabbit's home, he wasn't there. And then, yeah, because, yeah, they were still, like, out for their Heffalump search. And yeah, Rue and Lumpy were, like, continuing to play, but then they ended up making a mess. They were like caused all of Pooh's honey pots to fall all off their shelves, and then they ended up messing up Rabbit's garden as well. Yeah. And then they eventually heard a call from Lumpy's mother again, and then yeah, Roo and Lumpy then were just searching for Lumpy's mother, but yeah, they couldn't find her anywhere. And yeah, Lumpy tried to use his trunk trumpet to call for his mother, but yeah, he was unable to really blow out his trumpet of his trunk. Uh, so yeah, he couldn't call her. And then yeah, Lumpy later on that he just like was just felt that they were never going to find his mother, and he was just really sad about it. But then yeah, Rue eventually then got an idea that they could find Kanga and see if she could help Lumpy. Yeah. Yeah, and eventually Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Rabbit all returned home, and then they found the damage that was done by Rue and Lumpy. Yeah. And they just then came to the conclusion that there was an invasion by the Heffalump. Yeah, and it showed that Kanga was also out searching for Rue, and she eventually ended up coming across Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit, and Tigger. And yeah, she was just asking about Rue, and then it showed then that Lumpy and Rue had arrived, and then yeah, then Rabbit and the others just felt that they thought that Lumpy had actually captured Roo, and so then, yeah, Pooh, Tigger, Rabbit, and Piglet, all of them were chasing Lumpy through Heffalump traps that they had actually set up earlier on. But yeah, it was funny how at one point Lumpy was running one direction, and then after a trap had come out, Lumpy was running the other way, and then it was a Tigger and Rabbit were chasing Lumpy, but then once Lumpy was running in the other direction, it was Lumpy was chasing them, and yeah, it just kept going back and forth. But then eventually, yeah, Lumpy evaded the traps, and then yeah, Lumpy then ran into the woods, and then Roo and then just went after Lumpy, and just saw Lumpy was caught in a cage, and yeah, Lumpy just felt that Roo had lied to him about his friends. But yeah, Rue then ended up freeing Lumpy from the cage after pulling on a rope at the top of it and untying it, and then yeah, Lumpy was all grateful to Rue, and then yeah, Kanga then just saw Lumpy and Rue interacting, and she realized that they were friends, and then yeah, Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Rabbit then saw Lumpy holding Roo by his trunk, and then they still thought that he had captured Roo, and then they ended up lassoing Lumpy, but yeah, Roo stopped them, and then yeah, Roo then just explained that Heffalumps really are not scary or dangerous or mean as everyone in the 100 Acre Wood hood believes, and then and no, but as Rue was just explaining about Heffalumps, then Lumpy ended up accidentally stumbling and knocking Rue into a big pile of logs that were forming a bridge over a ditch, and then yeah, then everybody was trying to save Rue and lift up the logs, but the logs were just too heavy for them to lift. And then yeah, Lumpy then got the idea to try to call his mother, and yeah, he was trying to blow out his trunk again, but he was unable to do it for the first few times. But then he eventually was able to actually blow from his trunk and call on his mother, and then yeah, Lumpy's mother then eventually ended up arriving, and then and yeah, Lumpy told his mother the position Rue was in, and then yeah, Lumpy's mother then was able to lift up the log with her trunk and free Rue, and then and then once Rue was reunited with all of them, and Lumpy was reunited with his mother, her Pooh and the others then realized that the noises they were hearing was just was Lumpy's mother looking for him. Well, then, yeah, they apologized for everything, and then, yeah, they befriended Lumpy and his mother, and then, yeah, the movie then just ended with, like, before Lumpy and his mother, like, left for home, it just showed Roo and Lumpy playing hang with each other some more with everyone else watching. And then yeah, it was just like then just showed then like in the clouds with like the closing narration from Pooh, but then just showed in the clouds it was like clouds forming a Lumpy and Roo together. And so yeah. And then that's how the film ended. So yeah, like I said, it was only about an hour long, so yeah, this is a relatively short film, but yeah, for yeah, and I feel like with the story that was told in this film, I really felt it should have been longer. But for what they did do with this, it still turned out a good movie overall. I guess. I mean, not a great one, but a good one. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I really don't think this is as good as like the other Winnie the Pooh films I've already talked about. But yeah, yeah, I still do think that it's good overall for like once again for a film and like I feel that is really geared towards like little kids. I do think it is overall like the little kids will get enjoyment out of it, and even if you are like a Winnie the Pooh, do like Winnie the Pooh, I think that you'll still you'll still like this film overall. Yeah, I really felt that since they did a Heffalump movie, I thought that maybe they would have also done like a movie focused on like woozles, but yeah, they never did that. So yeah, but yeah, I guess like yeah, for as at least they were able. They did a movie on Heffalump, so yeah, I wish they could have done one about woozles, but they didn't. It is what it is, I guess. So yeah, so yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So yeah, like I said, 3 stars out of 4. Alright, so yeah, this is it for my review of Pooh's Heffalump movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and yeah, I'm gonna do like one more Winnie the Pooh movie review after this. Yeah, I'm gonna be going over the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie as my last Winnie the Pooh movie review. Who of these reviews I've been doing. Alright, so that's going to be my last review coming up next for these Winnie the Pooh films. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.